MACtion. We got 3 games on Tuesday, 2 games on Wednesday. Colin, lead us with a pick and we'll go to that game. And do you have a Tuesday pick?
Yeah, let's do Western Michigan +5 against Northern Illinois. These two teams have been completely different the last couple of weeks since midweek MACtion started. Northern Illinois has been horrific, did not show up against Central Michigan in the snow whatsoever, was beaten by a Ball State team last week that can't even make a bowl game. Northern Illinois is getting smoked in the first half of these games and they cannot respond. They have been terrible on defense in passing downs. They have a pretty good success rate and standard downs, but they've been terrible in passing downs. And now they have Jalen Buckley and this Western Michigan offense coming in, who's just firing on all cylinders right now. Their ground game runs inside zone, just an unbelievable amount. And Northern Illinois cannot defend inside zone, one of the worst in the nation. So give me Jalen Buckley and Western Michigan and give me the 5 points.
Stuckey, unless you have a pick on that game, give me a Tuesday pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna jinx myself. I've won going back to last year. I've won 14 straight midweek MACtion bets. So I wanted to throw the jinx out there before the end of the season, mainly because someone brought it up and tried to jinx me. So I'm gonna try and reverse jinx it. But one thing to keep in mind: Toledo Bowling Green. Toledo's a 10-point favorite there. Bowling Green's star running back Terrion Stewart, he's hurt, high ankle sprain. We don't know if he'll play. His backup Taron Keith, who's their leading receiver, he had an amazing game last week. He got hurt at the end of the game. He's a game time decision. If neither of them can play, I think Toledo can blow them out here. Toledo's not playing for anything. They've already clinched the title in the MAC championship. Clinched a spot in the MAC championship. But this is a big rivalry game, and Bowling Green beat them last year. So I think Toledo will show up here, and if they don't have Keith and Stewart in that backfield, I just don't know how Bowling Green will move the ball. But my favorite bet of the week is why not? And the reason I wanted to bring up my streak is because it's probably going to end because I'm betting Akron. I like Akron. Anything over a field goal. Eastern Michigan is dreadful. I mean, this team is so bad. I have a lot of respect for Chris Creighton. Their special teams are good. They don't beat themselves, which is a problem. Akron special teams are horrendous. But this is a bottom 5 offense. I have Eastern Michigan as a bottom 5 team right now. Akron also is a bottom 5 team overall. And DJ Irons is hurt. But guess what? The best unit in this game will be the Akron defense. And the Akron defense is playing well. I mean, last week, they completely shut down Miami of Ohio. And the best player on Akron, now they have a couple of talented receivers, George and company. You don't have Irons at quarterback, so it's tough. But, they can make a couple plays. But the best player on the field will be Lorenzo Linger, the running back for Akron, a former Florida transfer. And Eastern Michigan can't defend the run. So I think Linger could break a couple long runs. And I trust this Akron defense, which has been pretty good. And they've been put in so many compromised situations by the offense. But the Eastern Michigan offense is horrendous. It's so bad. So anything over a field goal, I like Akron on the road in the MAC. What could go wrong?
I'm looking at Eastern Michigan -4.5 right now is what I see. Brett, do you have a note on the Tuesday MACtion games over there?
Tim, I prefer to give my losing picks exclusively on Saturday's show, so I will pass.
Fair enough. Colin, care to clean up Tuesday? Was that your only pick?
No, I agree. Western Michigan for me, I agree with Stuckey. I'm waiting on the news from Bowling Green. Bowling Green's defense has zero answer for Penny Boone. It's really a matter of, does Toledo want to run this game out? I mean, they have such a huge lead in the MAC division. They're playing in the MAC championship. I don't know. We're going to find out, but I agree with Stuck. If they don't have their skill position players back for this game, then it's going to be a rout pretty fast.
Yeah, Bowling Green's run these bad, as Colin alluded to, and that's not good against Toledo.
All right, Wednesday it is. We have Central Michigan at Ohio and Buffalo at Miami. Stuckey, do you have a pick on either of these two games?
Yeah, I would. People are going to maybe get cute with Central Michigan. They're playing a little better, and Ohio's offense is abysmal. They have no explosiveness, but they like operate in a phone booth basically. They don't have any. They lost their 2 most explosive receivers from last year, and they have nothing downfield. And they hand it to O'Shea and Allison way too much, and it makes their run game inefficient. They missed their best offensive lineman, Megarvey, from last year too. So, but this is a game where they might be able to move it in a phone booth against Central Michigan. The Ohio defense is still pretty damn good. So I don't know. I'm pretty close to market there. I'm actually interested in Buffalo. Believe it or not, 3-7 Buffalo can get to the MAC championship. They just need to win out, and they need Miami of Ohio, and Bowling Green to lose out, but which is not happening. But they're still alive mathematically. I'm putting out a piece on ActionNetwork.com, the Action Network app, going through all the scenarios for every team. The two of the most shocking things that I found out: Buffalo is still mathematically alive, and we could still get a Big 12 championship game that features Texas Tech and Iowa State. There is a path for that. Big 12, by the way, could finish in an 8-way tie. That also could happen. For first place.
This podcast loves tiebreakers.
Yeah, 8-way tie, and it would be Kansas versus either Texas or Kansas State, depending on which game Oklahoma State lost. But more realistically, Oklahoma, they're all going to win. They have easy games coming up. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent, shocker. But yeah, Buffalo's still alive. Miami of Ohio, their defense is really good, but this offense, without Gabbert, it's not great. And Laverdine, the number one receiver, he got hurt at the end of last game. I got to check his status. But Buffalo, they're just pesky. And they're annoying. And this game should be lower scoring. So getting over a touchdown, I'll be on the Bulls here.
Yeah, make sure you follow Stucky in the Action app as well. Brett, how many MAC schools have you been to?
Covered games at? I don't believe I've covered a basketball game. I've covered basketball games at Northern Illinois and Ball State. Do not believe I've covered a football game in the mighty MAC.
Yeah, do you have a favorite MAC school? MAC place to go?
I'd say Toledo.
Okay. I go Athens, Ohio. Athens, very underrated place. Great bar scene there. I've been there a number of times for stupid reasons. Colin, what do you have on Wednesday?
Not much. I am kind of waiting. The Ohio number intrigues me because I think there is value on it right now. I think it's going to steam before we get to kickoff. But at the same time, Ohio has not scored more than 20 points since October 7th. So it might be hard to cover a double-digit spread when it's been so long. Curtis Rourke is a little bit out of funk. Sam Wiglas is on the back of a milk carton right now. We haven't seen him do anything in a box score in a number of weeks. The defense is playing lights out, but this offense is just not scoring whatsoever. So total's probably a little bit too low on the other side of 48, where I would want to take an under, but I don't know. I think Ohio is going to
take an Ohio over right now. Just don't.
No, I wouldn't take an over. But
no, I'm talking to the listeners.
Yeah.
Until further notice.
Yeah, so I think if you can get it at 10 or better, but I'm not sure that I would play it any higher than that because Ohio is having problems scoring, period, over the last month.